Hi guys, so we meet again. This time I'm going to teach how to play as Denmark. Yes, Denmark. Because it's a very small country and I'm playing in Iron Man, mind you. How to play Denmark in Iron Man. Because it's a small country and in Iron Man the countries are kind of fixed to certain cheats, let's put it that way, because there's no way around it. I played like making my own country without being Iron Man, and it was a very different kind of gameplay. So the game was rigged from the start here, so you have to bear that in mind when you play the smaller countries in the Iron Man version of Europa Universalis 4. This being the case, let's get to it. The big secret when you play Denmark is to start the game well. You need to start the game by saving money and acting quick. If you don't do that, you are going to incur in a lot of issues further on down the road, because you will need to face the big guys later on in the game, like in the last century of this game, so you have to bear that in mind. All you're doing in the beginning and until half of the game is to set a goal, literally, to the end game in Europa Universalis Iron Man gameplay. So let's get to it. You have to set your country right. In order to do that, you have to do the following. You have to, your diplomats, as you can see, I just started the game, so I still need to open these panels. You put this for royal marriage, and then you send the other two diplomats to build a relationship with Poland, because Poland becomes very strong very soon, especially when they unite with Lithuania. Then for a whole century, around the 1650s to the 1750s, they are really strong, and after that they become weakened. So you can change allies, but for now you definitely, and you need to keep an eye on, because if you want to fulfill the missions of the game, you will later on need to grab Danzig. So rather try to do that in the beginning of the game when they ask you, before Poland can get grab of it. Confirm, and then you, right now, even if you try to make an alliance with France first, they're not in condition right now, so you will get into a lot of unnecessary wars. Although France tends to win them, don't count with that. They don't want your alliance right now. It's only when you become a considerable size and profitable that they will automatically, like sometimes they even send you an ally offer, but don't count with that. Keep an eye on France. So you can just ally with some country. I usually do Brandenburg, because they're kind of a buffer to everything, and you can get into some small wars around here that might give you benefit of those little tiny bits later on. But yeah, so improve relationship with those two. I used to do that. I used to improve relationship with Russia, but eventually those two get at each other, or Russia, because you are going to grab this bit. Russia will be a bit cranky, so yeah. Oh, they're already offering me alliance. Great. Let me see what else. Then you need to prepare this. Over here you can see you only receive that measure, and although it tends to rise, but what you need in the beginning of the game, you need to gather as much money, so when you can finally build churches, and you should build them everywhere, because they give you better taxes and other improvements, then you already have money enough to buy kind of a lot of them at once, and that will give you an extra money boost. Meanwhile, you don't really need those two fortifications here. Yeah, some people will pass through, but what the hell, as long as you have that to control the area, you really don't need those two. And later on, when you're grabbing here, you can just build a fortress, one fortress here. So, and then one here to choke the stuff, maybe something later on. Right now, the least you need are fortresses. So later on in the game, before the 17th century, would be wise to have some fortresses and key points to choke enemies and very strong fortresses. But that's for later. All those things are for later. For now, because you're a small country, you need to make money. So after you check that, then right now you can't do this. Don't let them grow on you. This is a new feature, and I think it's interesting. It adds to the game. But as soon as you get that, then do this. Like, they shouldn't have too much power. Let me see. Yes. Then after we've been here, see, look at the difference. Look at the difference. Now you have two extra instead of just less than one. That will help you. 100 years from now, you'll be thankful you did this. Then, that's a tricky bit. Although you start with Lubbock, you don't have a merchant here. So what I tend to do, I tend to remove from Saxony. Also, it seems that Saxony doesn't seem to pay as well as this, as Lübeck. So that's what I tend to do. I change merchants. They don't tell you, and because you see the flag, you assume, as I used to at least, that there was already a merchant. It's only half of the game later on I found out, oh, there were no merchants. So everything else should be running fine. And one thing you need to be very keen to, very attention to, keep this at a maximum high always. Don't bother sacrificing churches like the development, technology development. This needs to be up, because when this is up, people are very happy. When they're very happy, they don't revolt, or revolts are easier. They are less revolting people. So this is a must, and you get more money, you get a lot of benefits when this is on top. So keep that on top at all costs. Everything else comes later. Everything here should be fine. Oh yes, here, put one extra troop in your army because of the revolts here. Usually this army can, in the question of chance, beat that army, but if you have one extra, it's usually like the possibility is very small. Make them active, protecting trade in Lübeck. The barques, they're perfect, they are for that purpose. Put an admiral, because there will be a lot of small wars, especially in the beginning, because of your allies might throw you into some wars. So some people don't do it, but I do it. I start with general. I don't sacrifice my kings. Whatever the reason they do it, that's their reason. I do it like that, and it seems to work for me. So I have this geared up. It might cost a little more, but I tell you it's worth it. And then you come, once this all is set, because people tend to forget those basics, the small details, then you need to be careful who you choose. Be okay to choose England if it is England, Scotland if it is Scotland. When it's not England, ally with England, because right in the beginning, because of their civil war, you might end up with the entirety of England at your disposal. But here, when they put Lithuania, because you want to add Poland, I usually pick up Burgundy instead. I don't pick up Novgorod because I'm going to steal all this bit from them, and if I pick them as enemies and I don't start a claim or whatever, that's the only time that I actually sacrifice points in the score system here in the stability, because this needs to be taken in the beginning, because then you're guaranteeing later on, once you take this and this, you guarantee that Sweden, when it becomes available for you to add it to your kingdom, they will join without hesitation. Like, otherwise you don't have enough territories to add Sweden right away when this comes along. This key thing, integrate. 1st January 1494. So when this comes along, you'll be able to add the whole of Sweden. And that's going to give you more troops without you having to waste money on it. That's going to give you more territory. That's going to give you more everything. So although some people love to have a lot of vassals to play it, so they don't need to do the strategy part, I love doing the strategy part, so I don't leave it for my vassals. I do it myself. So yeah, once this is all set, we can, and I play at top speed. Yes, that's what I do. And when I need to see something in detail, I just pause it. For instance, right now you can see the guy is available. So now I can do the following. Mobility. If you have enough money, do it. If you don't, don't. Improve relations, because they will be annexable in the 1st January 1454. So soon, pretty soon. You can still fight one war here. Let Russia weaken them down. If you attack them right now, they're going to kick your ass, much probably, if you don't play your cards right. Otherwise, you let Russia take a bit. Sometimes they take a bit. And meanwhile, you're building your strength. You're stabilizing your nation once they take a bit of it. Once this takes a severe beating from Russia or both, then you can come in and pick up that part. So, timing, gentlemen. And as soon as you pick that up, be very attentive with Scotland, because taking Scotland prevents England of becoming too belligerent. Even if you take just a bit of it, they stop being so aggressive towards you and kind of yeah, you would think it's the other way around, right? No, not in this case. Then they will become kind of more docile, and you will, even later on, if you are not happy with France, although they are very strong for most of the game, you can just jump here and hopefully, in a chance given, get the whole kingdom for yourself. Yeah. Otherwise, this is a tough nut to crack, so bear that in mind. If you don't have enough troops and navy, especially navy, forget this. Yeah. So this is all in place, and then we can just run to the game. So there you have it, folks. This is part 1 of this game. It was the first year, I believe. Have a nice time. Oh yeah, and when this comes along, you have a choice. Grab money, which I usually do. Then I just have to fight those a-holes, or gain stability right away. I choose this time because I got those extra boost and money, but this time around I want to do this. It's not a challenge to me anymore, so it's not fun. That's it. And with that, you get 1 extra point to start on happier people. Easier to tackle. Then you just need to tackle this. Their ass. They will run here, and then you beat them here. And then you can already send this, so you can invade here. Always wait for them to cross. It's easier to beat, and Sweden sometimes joins in, so it's much better that way. Yeah. So that's it.